Consumer Price Index, July 2022. Transmission of material in this release is embargoed until 8:30 a.m. Eastern. August 10, 2022. The Consumer Price Index for all urban consumers, CPI-U, was unchanged in July on a seasonally adjusted basis after rising 1.3% in June, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics reported today. Over the last 12 months, the All Items Index increased 8.5% before seasonal adjustment. The Gasoline Index fell 7.7% in July and offset increases in the Food and Shelter Indexes, resulting in the All Items Index being unchanged over the month. The Energy Index fell 4.6% over the month as the indexes for gasoline and natural gas declined, but the index for electricity increased. The Food Index continued to rise, increasing 1.1% over the month as the Food at Home Index rose 1.3%. The index for all items less food and energy rose 0.3% in July, a smaller increase than in April, May, or June. The indexes for shelter, medical care, motor vehicle insurance, household furnishings and operations, new vehicles, and recreation were among those that increased over the month. There were some indexes that declined in July, including those for airline fares, used cars and trucks, communication, and apparel. The All Items Index increased 8.5% for the 12 months ending July, a smaller figure than the 9.1% increase for the period ending June. The All Items Less Food and Energy Index rose 5.9% over the last 12 months. The Energy Index increased 32.9% for the 12 months ending July, a smaller increase than the 41.6% increase for the period ending June. The Food Index increased 10.9% over the last year, the largest 12-month increase since the period ending May 1979. Chart 1. 1-month percent change in CPI for all urban consumers, CPI-U, seasonally adjusted, July 2021 to July 2022. Chart 2. 12-month percent change in CPI for all urban consumers, CPI-U, not seasonally adjusted, July 2021 to July 2022. Table A. Percent changes in CPI for all urban consumers, CPI-U, U.S. city average. Food. The Food Index increased 1.1% in July. This was the 7th consecutive monthly increase of 0.9% or more. The Food at Home Index rose 1.3% in July as all 6 major grocery store food group indexes increased. The index for non-alcoholic beverages rose the most, increasing 2.3% as the index for coffee rose 3.5%. The index for other food at home rose 1.8%, as did the index for cereals and bakery products. The index for dairy and related products increased 1.7% over the month. The index for meats, poultry, fish, and eggs rose 0.5% in July after declining in June. The index for fruits and vegetables also increased 0.5% over the month. The Food Away from Home Index rose 0.7% in July after rising 0.9% in June. The index for limited service meals increased 0.8% and the index for full service meals increased 0.6% over the month. The Food at Home Index rose 13.1% over the last 12 months, the largest 12-month increase since the period ending March 1979. The index for other food at home rose 15.8% and the index for cereals and bakery products increased 15.0% over the year. The remaining major grocery store food groups posted increases ranging from 9.3%, fruits and vegetables, to 14.9%, dairy and related products. The index for food away from home rose 7.6% over the last year. The index for full service meals rose 8.9% over the last 12 months. And the index for limited service meals rose 7.2% over the last year. Energy. The Energy Index fell 4.6% in July after rising 7.5% in June. The Gasoline Index fell 7.7% over the month following an 11.2% increase in June. Before seasonal adjustment, gasoline prices fell 7.7% in July. The index for natural gas declined in July after sharp recent increases, falling 3.6%. However, the electricity index increased in July, rising 1.6%, its third consecutive monthly increase of at least 1.3%. The energy index rose 32.9% over the past 12 months. The gasoline index increased 44.0% over the span and the fuel oil index rose 75.6%. The index for electricity rose 15.2%, the largest 12-month increase since the period ending February 2006. The index for natural gas increased 30.5% over the last 12 months. All items less food and energy. The index for all items less food and energy rose 0.3% in July after increasing 0.7% in June. The shelter index continued to rise but did post a smaller increase than the prior month, increasing 0.5% in July compared to 0.6% in June. The rent index rose 0.7% in July and the owner's equivalent rent index rose 0.6%. The index for lodging away from home continued to decline, falling 2.7% in July after a 2.8% decrease in June. The medical care index rose 0.4% in July after rising 0.7% in June as major medical care component indexes continued to increase. The index for hospital services increased 0.5% over the month, while the indexes for physician services and for prescription drugs both increased 0.3% in July. The index for motor vehicle insurance continued to increase, rising 1.3% in July after increasing 1.9% in June. The index for household furnishings and operations rose 0.6% after increasing 0.4% in June. The new vehicles index also increased 0.6% in July, and the recreation index rose 0.3% over the month. Other indexes that increased in July include personal care, plus 0.4%, alcoholic beverages, plus 0.5%, tobacco, plus 0.3%, and education, plus 0.1%. The index for airline fares fell sharply in July, decreasing 7.8%. The index for used cars and trucks also declined over the month, falling 0.4% after rising in May and June. The communication index fell 0.4% in July, and the apparel index fell 0.1% after rising the prior 2 months. The index for all items less food and energy rose 5.9% over the past 12 months, the same increase as the period ending June. The shelter index rose 5.7% over the last year, accounting for about 40% of the total increase in all items less food and energy. Several transportation indexes also rose notably over the last year, including new vehicles, plus 10.4%, used cars and trucks, plus 6.6%, motor vehicle insurance, plus 7.4%, and airline fares, plus 27.7%. Not seasonally adjusted CPI measures. The Consumer Price Index for all urban consumers, CPI-U, increased 8.5% over the last 12 months to an index level of 296.276, 1982-84 equals 100. For the month, the index was unchanged prior to seasonal adjustment. The Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers, CPI-W, increased 9.1% over the last 12 months to an index level of 292.219, 1982-84 equals 100. For the month, the index declined 0.1% prior to seasonal adjustment. The Chained Consumer Price Index for all urban consumers, CPI-U, increased 8.0% over the last 12 months. For the month, the index increased 0.1% on a not seasonally adjusted basis. Please note that the indexes for the past 10 to 12 months are subject to revision. The Consumer Price Index for August 2022 is scheduled to be released on Tuesday, September 13, 2022 at 8:30 a.m. Eastern.